Hello, you might get your piece of clay after about a week of it sitting around on a shelf, maybe put inside some plastic so that it doesn't dry out too much, but it will be harder than when you last saw it. One term that people use for this is leather hard, meaning that the clay has just become a little bit more stiff. You would not want to squish it again and start to try and make something with it because it's lost too much moisture at this part and it's getting kind of strong, and you should keep it that way. What you can do to leather hard clay is you can bend it slightly, you can smooth it carefully, and you can add pieces to it. Right now I pulled some used clay out of a bag, and because it is so used and in little chunks with probably air bubbles all inside, I'm wedging the clay. Wedging is any way with your hands that you can try and condense your clay to get all of the extra little spaces out from inside. Clay does best, sculpts the best, and fires the best if it is very much condensed or wedged. I'm going to use my two hands to roll back and forth and get what is called a coil. A coil is a long, thin piece of clay that you can use to build. You can roll it on the surface of your table and use pieces of it to make additions to your artwork. I'm using a toothbrush to rough up, or what you might call Velcro, two pieces of clay together. Each piece gets roughed up and highly moistened with my toothbrush, and then I do a lot of work to press them tightly together and smooth them together, creating a strong, firm connection. I even saw that I could wiggle it a little bit too much and decided to mush it even more closely together and make it solid and firm. Now I'm experimenting with pieces of coil to solidify my vessel into something that can stand up on one side. So I made kind of a weird tail with my coil, and that helps it stand up and find balance. It won't roll around and it'll be more stable this way. That's only one way. You might make little feet, you might make anything that helps your creature stand in the position that you want it to stand. You will not be able to use coils to make it stand up tall on legs, but you can definitely stabilize the main body of your piece. So notice I'm still being really careful with my leather hard portion of my art, being careful not to crack it or bend it too much. Another way you can make pieces is to make a slab, and I'm kind of doing that by slamming the clay down carefully until it's about the thickness of a cookie. You want everything on your art today to be about the thickness of a cookie so that it can fire evenly in the kiln. A big part of cooking anything is making sure that it is evenly cooked through. So for my tongue, I sliced it with a paper clip. I used the toothbrush to rough up and create a Velcro on both sides, and now I'm using my hands to carefully condense and push those two parts together, smoothing them as best as I can and making it one firm piece of clay. Here I'm using the same technique with a small sphere to create kind of a bump or an eyeball shape. And I'm showing you how you can also use a clay tool to do that delicate work of combining the attached piece onto the main body of your art. So today is a day of attaching securely and smoothing out your clay vessel. If you need to start over, that's fine too, but you won't be able to start over with your leather hard clay because it's a little bit too dried out to do that. It's really good for attaching today. I found another spot I can smooth and solidify and sturdy my art. At the end of the day, you will carefully, neatly scratch your name in the bottom of your art so we can't see it. You can add textures, and you can continue to smooth and solidify your piece. Today is our last day, so have some fun.